Soul Garden.
Good morning. I'm out light walking in Huntington Beach, California, and this is your Monday Namaste Today. Good morning and Namaste, and welcome to Namaste Today. My name is stepº Witecki. I'm a psychic astrologer, and I call myself the sensei to serious joy. I'm here to stand in my heart and walk in the light, and it's a pleasure to light walk with you. I'm out light walking in Huntington Beach, California. Please forgive the rumbling of the wind. I really had to record this before the sun set. I was looking for a windless place, but it's windy. The tide is up, and there is a surfing competition here in Huntington Beach. So there's such a wonderful, vibrant, young, summer, cool surfer, energy here, which I needed myself. I needed to kind of step into this energy and just relax, or me-lax, I should say. And we're on to a fascinating week, my friends. We're past the hard part, I think, of the sun in Leo. Today we are beginning really the most important leg. Today's step 11. Yes, step 11 rules the day. We'll do some reading here with my guides. And that means it's time to come into our integrity and integrity with our heart. Okay, so integrity means you're being honest with yourself. Integrity means you are willing to tell the world what your heart wants. That's integrity. You're willing to reflect what it is you have inside of you. That is the Namaste. I see the light in you that I see in me, so turning that light on. And we really are turning that light on. Funny enough, Jupiter and the sun are out of my 12th house, so I am out of my 12th house transit. So everything you've been seeing, people are like, Chris, it's like you're getting brighter every day. It's like, I'm coming out of a 12th house transit. Like I was in the fog, man. That's what 12th house is about. But I'm feeling very alive and feeling wonderful, and such of gratitude to be of soul service. I read many people over the weekend, and I guess I'll just say right now, since it came into my consciousness, that today is the last day to get a reading for me and be grandfathered into the price. And you can also buy a gift certificate if you don't want to pick a date. That's the other thing I wanted to put out to the world. So without further ado, let's dive into the spiritual business, and let me talk to my guides before this sun sets here in Southern California. Okay, so the first thing they talk about is actually something they kind of already told me about, which is funny because I'm like, what do you guys want to talk about? And they're like, what we want to talk about. I'm like, okay, I just have to ask for formality. So we have kind of a trifecta going on today. I believe that today we are being implanted with our new conscious heart. So we're being planted with our new conscious heart. And where they pull me to is this trifecta going on in Leo right now. The sun is at step 11. Jupiter is at step 28, and Mercury is at step 22. So 11, 22, and actually Venus is at 29. So those are all 11s. Those are all multiples of 11, 11, 22, 29. And I had actually noticed that when I printed the chart out today. So, they're saying, I guess they're not willing to cheat on camera. Like, we already told you about this, so they're not going to, play it on camera for you. But what this is that we're hitting a note. You're hitting a note today with these three planets, and these three planets represent what your heart wants on the one hand at 11, and see, that's where hopefully we're in integrity, okay, where our heart really wants. Secondly is our mind at step 22. Step 22 is I feel myself, and I feel myself some more. So that step is the step where we're mindful and looking for our law of attraction, right? So I'm mindful of how I feel, I'm mindful of how I want to feel in the world. So we're looking for where the scent is, and the scent is our emotional scent. We're talking about what our feelings, what we want to feel. And then really at the top is Venus retrograde now conjuncting Jupiter, and Venus has retrograded back to step 29, which adds to an 11. So it's another 11. That's the high harmonic of the 11. And because it's retrograde, it's actually pulling from, it's actually pulling from a past life memory. Now, I actually talked to a lot of clients over the weekend. Total affirmation, as I predicted, many people having past life experiences, either little moments when they're doing the dishes or whatever, flashbacks, they're putting together pieces of the past, they're writing off haunts and fears that they've had that they've had their whole life, and they're starting to get back past it, step by step, brick by brick. So it is happening already. I think the most difficult time was when we were first starting with Venus retrograde and we're in the early degrees of the sun in Leo. Today, you should be clear with yourself on what your heart really wants. Okay, so they're saying be clear of this trifecta. Be clear of what your heart wants. Put your mind on what your heart wants, and then open up to unlimited possibilities of dancing with the universe, which is what Venus retrograde at step 29 multiplied by Jupiter at step 28. And step 28 is manifestation. So we're hitting a note that manifests. If you want this in a more practical sense, they're showing me I should bring it down. Okay. A more practical sense is that you are just being very mindful of what your heart is doing and experiencing today. If you find yourself going off to a glorious feeling when you see somebody, if you find yourself going off to some sort of like patriotic note in your heart when you hear a song, if you find yourself just taken back by someone you meet, this little moment, this is the blong, that's like a note being hit. And that note is the love harmonic that came from them, the love harmonic that we are to hold. Now they say the moon. Yes, the moon. Okay, so the moon is forming a grand trine in water today, so that's another harmonic, and that harmonic is an emotional harmonic. So as we can see with the architecture of incarnation here, we're going to be planted with this. While we are vibrating in this tri kind of harmonic of love in Leo, we are emotionally absorbing this with the soul pyramid in water. Now, a soul pyramid is when the three parts of the same element of awareness is linked together. In this case, our emotional awareness is all wired together, which is kind of like, you know, we have different emotional parts of ourselves, and so today, whatever one part feels, it shares with the rest of it. Okay, so your whole body lights up, and today, literally, your whole body might light up. With the moon at this particular moment, oh my gosh, I even printed this chart at the exact moment. That's so crazy. So the moon is at, when the moon hits step 26, which will be at 11:21 a.m. Pacific time, emotionally there will be a harmonic hit where you will make a decision at that time, and this is coming from them. You will make a decision at that time, and that decision will be, I like this feeling. I like this. This is me. This is me. That's what they're saying. This is me. So the decision is, this is me. And it comes after we do a healing. The moon has crossed over Chiron as we were sleeping and released a lot of our emotional issues. Saturn at retrograde at step 28 is, in one way, we're retrograded. Saturn's retrograded, so technically with Saturn in retrograde, past life memories come forward easier because Saturn is the control energy, and so it's saying, oh yeah, we can go in the past. So we're probably going to the past. We're probably bringing emotional boundaries that we once had from the past, is what I can see too in many people's cases. And then the other tip of it is Mars in Cancer. And Mars is what? Mars is basically the little sperm on Earth. It's all, you know, it's like getting things pregnant literally. And so Mars is in the high heavens of our emotional field saying, okay, let's get this present life emotionally pregnant with this feeling, this vibration. And as the moon hits step 26 in Pisces, that's when it'll happen. Yeah, fascinating and very cool. Now, what else do you guys... The last thing is, again, Black Lilith stuff. So, there's a lot of fear erasing. That's what they're showing me. It's like, fear erasing is very simple, and this is what I'll leave you with today. You know, if you are afraid of something, do you know how you get rid of it? You just walk straight into it. You just open the door. You turn on the light. You go down the dark stairs, okay? Now, don't put your life in danger. But there's going to be, they're showing me a lot of fear erasing where people face fears and they will never be afraid of it again. Afraid of the water, afraid of this, afraid of that. In some ways, they're showing me that it's like, these fears kind of kept you from going down these paths for a reason. It's almost like we put up this wall next to the garden gate so you wouldn't know you could get out of the garden. You know what I mean? So in some cases you'll find these fears were silly and like, gosh, I was almost, why did I live by that fear? And it's like, why did the dog not wander out of the yard when the gate was open? You know what I mean? So some fears are just that. They're just actually little plot devices. In some cases, these are terrifying fears that go back in past lives. And because we're in a Venus retrograde transit, because we're in a Saturn retrograde transit, these fears in some cases go back many lives. But like in the case of one of my clients, I'll just share, you know, this person had died in a traumatic incident. Then they had been reincarnated and were so sad over it, they had committed suicide. So they died in trauma, come back in life, don't deal with it, then commit suicide, still don't deal with the trauma. okay, come back in life. Maybe they're an alcoholic and die from that, still don't deal with the trauma. So in some cases, as beings of light that are enlightening here on earth, we are in some cases waking up for the first time in many, many skips of being hurt, never having the knowledge or the internet or or the connections to people to become aware that, like, hey, there's really nothing wrong with me. This is just a fear, and I need to catch it now and not let it get to me. Okay? So that was the last thing I felt the need to say from my heart and from them. Have a very happy and merry day. And they say that literally, be merry, be bright, live in your heart today and tonight, because it is encoding you, my friend, emotionally, and setting an intention. And worst case scenario, the intention that it sets will be a calling for you to go back to that home. So if you do get lost on your way later this year, you'll have this moment and this memory to at least go back to, and you'll find your way home. My friends, I am so grateful to be of soul service. It is quite an honor and a privilege and a pleasure. I'm light walking across America. Be sure to come down to my website and register, because I have new rooms opening up. I'm making my website like the Doctor Who booth. Once you're a member, like, there's more stuff, so much more stuff behind the scenes. And I'll see you in 24 hours with more. I'll be in sunny Southern California, living in my heart. Two things I want to say. This comes directly from God in a book I'm reading, and this is the last thing I'll leave you with. Something that's very, very important. Remember always that we are one. We are all one. And secondly, remember that there's always more where that came from. All right? And with that, I'll leave you until tomorrow. I love you, and live, love, be. Good morning. I'm like that dude behind the fence. Well, I don't know, Bob. Is that what you want to do?